Hello everyone. In this session, we will discuss about data types in Python. Okay, data types in Python. So yesterday we have discussed the variables, the rules of variables. Okay, and some data types like string, numbers. Inside numbers, we have discussed integers, float, and complex. And then we have discussed the Boolean values. Okay, so basically in this session we will discuss the data types, like some more data types like list, tuples, set, frozen set, and dictionaries. Okay, so if you haven't watched the previous video, okay, so you can visit the YouTube channel for that. So from here, you can search for the G2JS1, the channel name. Okay, from here, click on it. Click on live and click on day 2 video from here. Okay, Python day 2. And then you can go for Python day 1 by click. Okay. So from here, you watch the video of day 2 as well as day 1. In our later days, discuss the features of Python, like what is Python, why Python, where we can use Python, okay, what is the benefit of using Python, and the installation process. In that we will discuss the variables, what are variables, the types of variables, okay, conventions of variables, okay, like we have follow some rules for naming the variables that we see, okay, as well as we'll see the strings, numbers, as well as the Boolean values, data types. So in this session, we will discuss the data types. Okay, so before that, let's take a recap of the previous session. Then we will start with the data types. So we have discussed the variables. Okay, what are variables? Basically, variables are the container that will use to contain your value or that will use to store your values. So variables are the data types. Sorry, variables are the containers that will that stores. Okay, so basically values are the container that will store your values. Okay, for example, a equal 10. So here 10 is a value. Okay, a is a variable a. So we are assigning the 10 value to a variable a. Okay, and this equal sign is known as a assignment operator because it is used for assigning the value to the variable. Okay, so 10 is a value here, equal is a assignment operator, a is a variable here. Okay, so a is a variable, 10 is a value, and then equal sign is a assignment operator. Okay, then we have discussed the rules of naming the variables. Like we cannot name anything. Okay, basically we have to follow some predefined rules by Python. Okay, while naming the variables. So we can mention of rules for naming the variables. Okay, and that are known as the naming conventions. Okay, so first rule is spaces are not allowed. So first one, spaces are not allowed. But we can use underscore in place of spaces. But you can use for example, first space name equal John. So here first and name, we have a space here. So this is not allowed. But we can replace the space with the underscore. Sorry, the underscore. Okay, that is the first rule because like spaces are not allowed, but we can use underscore in place of spaces. Second rule, special characters are not allowed. All the special characters are not allowed. Okay. Basically, what kind of characters? This one. These are the special characters. Okay. So these are not allowed. Okay. So basically, special characters are not allowed in the variable name. Not in the starting, not at last, or not in the middle. Okay. Third one, special characters like special reserved words are not allowed. So we can say reserved words are not allowed as variable names. Okay. Reserved words are the keywords. Like the reserved words are the special meaning for the Python interpreter. For example, print. Print is a reserved word. If, else, for, while, these are the reserved words which have special meanings for the Python interpreter. We cannot use it as a variable name. Okay, so we cannot name as a variable name. So reserved words are not allowed as a variable name. Fourth, numbers are not allowed at starting. Okay, so numbers are not allowed in the starting, but we can use numbers. We can use numbers in the middle and at last. Okay. Fifth rule, which is from my side, I'm adding it from my side, that always name your variable the way according to the value you are storing. Okay, so always name your variable according to the value you are storing. Okay, for example, age. Age is a variable which will store only the age of someone's age. Okay, so we can easily identify that okay, age is a variable and we are storing a value that is someone's age. Suppose you are taking a equal 18. So no one can understand 18 is only a number, but it is a age or a roll number or a class, etc. We cannot understand. Okay, so A is equal to 18 is it is basically not a good practice to name the variable like A, B, C, D. Always name the variable according to the value you are storing. Okay, these are the names of the naming rules of the variables that we have discussed yesterday. Okay, then we have discussed the data types. Okay, like some data types that is strings, numbers. Inside numbers, we have discussed int, that is integer, float, and complex. Okay, then we have discussed the Boolean values. That is, we have only two values, true and then false. Okay, so what are strings? Whatever you are writing inside a quotations are known as strings. So we can mention characters or set of characters inside double, single, and triple quotations are known as strings. Okay, that are known as strings. For example, like John. So John is a string here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is also a string. Basically, for us, these are the numbers. But for the Python interpreter, these are just characters. These are not number anymore. Okay. Data strings. Like any character or a set of characters inside the double quotations, single quotations, and triple quotations. So these are the double quotations. Okay. These. And this is the single quotations. Okay. Triple quotation are like this. So we usually use the double quotation and the single quotation inside Python interpreter. Okay. Or in the Python coding. So any character, whatever you are writing inside quotations, they are strings. Okay, like whatever. For example, like this one. So these are also the strings. Okay, these are the basically special characters, but these are the strings. Okay. So whatever we are typing inside quotations are known as the strings. Inside number, integer, we have integers, float, and complex. So we have some division of numbers inside the Python. So first we have integers that are the non-decimal values. Okay. Any number which is non-decimal are the integers. Okay. For example, like this any like common number, any number. Okay. Float decimal numbers. All the decimal numbers like 12.134. Okay, 1.1. Sorry. Okay, or 99.00 or 855.9. These are known as the float numbers. Okay, floating point numbers. This is basically the decimal numbers. So every decimal numbers is a float number. Okay, and every non-decimal numbers are the integer numbers. Then we have discussed the complex number, which is a combination of real and imaginary number. Okay, that is 1 plus 1j. So 1 here is a real number and j is an imaginary number. Okay, we really use complex number inside Python. Then we have boolean. In this, we have only two values, that is true and false. And there's a point here. Whenever you are using the boolean values inside Python, you have to be make sure that true of t should be in capital and f of false should be capital. Basically, t and this f, this t and this f, both should be in capital inside Python. Okay, whenever you are using the boolean value, if you are writing like true or false. So this will throw an error. Okay, so make sure whenever you are using the boolean values inside Python, t should be capital and f should be capital. Okay. Now, strings are also known as, in short form, they are also known as str in Python. Okay, integers are also known as int. Okay, the short form. Okay, float is the float only, no short form. Complex, complex only, the bool. Okay. Boolean are also known as bool. Okay, bool. So these are the common data types that we had discussed yesterday. So let's take an example first, then we will move forward. So let's make a file here of let's say data underscore types. Okay. So now what are data types? Okay, like the definition of data types. Data types are the values that you are storing inside a variable. That is the only data types. Data types are the values that you are storing inside a variables. Okay, like these are the type of values that you are storing inside a particular variable. That is known as the data types. Okay, we have strings, number, and boolean, and then we have the list. We have tuples. We have dictionaries, we have set, and then we have frozen set. Okay, we will discuss this one by one. So before that, we have to take an example of each and every string numbers and complex numbers in like integer, float, complex number, and boolean values. So first, let's say first underscore name equal John. So this is the string. Okay, age equal 18. Okay, we can say number 1 equal 12.16 or anything. Okay, com equal 1 plus 1j. Okay, underscore bool underscore. See, bool is a reserved word. We cannot use this as a variable name. Okay, so this will throw an error. So what we can do, bool underscore 1. Okay, 2, 2, and then bool underscore 2, that is false. Okay, so these are the different data types. So this is known as the data type. Data types means the value we are storing inside a particular variable. Okay, now let's check the type. So print type is another function we are using inside print. Type function will print the type of value you are storing inside a variable. Okay, so first underscore name. First we will check for the first name, then we will check for the age. Okay, then we will check for the number type of number. Then we will check for the type of form. Then we will check for the type of root underscore one. Okay. Then we will check for the root underscore. Okay. So let's run this. See, first we have the string, that is this one, that are inside quotations. Okay, you can also use the single quotation, you can also use the double quotations. Then we have the number, that is integer value. This is float value, we have float in the number. This is complex, we have complex. And these are true and false are the boolean values, and we have as it is. Okay. And type is a function which we use to print the type of value you are storing inside a particular variable. Okay, I think this much is clear. Now we will move to the next part, that is other data types. That is the list, tuples, set, frozen set, and then dictionary. Okay. Now before that, I want to make you clear about one more concept, that is mutable and then immutable. Okay. So mutable data types and then immutable data types. They are not the data types, they are just a category. Okay. Mutable data types are the data types which we can change, which is changeable. Okay. Immutable data types are the data types which we cannot change, unchangeable. Okay, that are known as the mutable. Now, what is the meaning of change and unchangeable here? See, change means we can modify, we can remove, we can modify the data type. Okay, after creating. Okay, so we can modify or we can alter or we can update the data type. So we can modify the data type after creating. So that is the modification that is known as mutable data types. Like we can change, we can modify, we can update, we can add elements, we can remove elements after the creation of the data type. That is known as mutable. Immutable means we cannot change. Like we cannot remove items, we cannot add items, we cannot like change items. Okay, that is known as immutable data types. So basically, after that we have list and tuple, dictionary, set, frozen set. Now, list means anything that you're typing inside square brackets as known as list. So basically, these data types can store multiple data types inside this. Means list, tuples, dictionary, set, frozen set. These are the data types. These are the data types which can store multiple data types inside the particular inside them. Okay. So basically, these all are the data types which can store multiple data types inside them. For example, first we have list. List means now list can store multiple data types inside square brackets. Like for example, let's say apple. Okay, this is string, comma 1, 2, 3. These are the integers. 12.4, 12.5. These are the float. And then true, then false. These are the Boolean values. Then even we can store list inside list. Okay, we can store list inside tuples, we can store list inside dictionaries and vice versa. Okay, let me show you the example. So first we have the list. So list equal square brackets. So we always have to store the list inside square brackets. Okay. So first we have the apple. Then we have the mangoes. Then we have the numbers. Okay, we can store any type of data type. Okay, inside the list. And then we can store the float values also. Okay, 44.5. Then we can store numbers also. So, sorry, the Boolean values. Okay, and then we can store list inside list like this. Okay, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. We can store tuples inside list. We can store dictionaries inside list. Okay, so for this I'm removing. Let's keep it simple. Okay, when we check the type of data type, the list underscore one is storing, that is this one. So that is list. Okay, that is list. And if you want to print, we can easily print it. List underscore one. When you run this, that is list underscore. Okay, this is your list. So anything like multiple data types storing inside square brackets are known as list. Okay. And why we need these tuples dictionaries? Because suppose there is a variable name. You have John. Then we have age. Then we have Boolean values. Then we have nothing. Okay. So we cannot store multiple values to a data type, to a single variable. Okay, like we have John, we have 18, we have true false, we have different data types values. Now we cannot store these are different data types values inside a single variable. Okay, this will throw an error. Okay. So now what we can do, we can either we can name, we can create age, we can create bool underscore one, we can create bool underscore two equal. Now we can name anything like John, John name for John, 18 for age, true for the boolean value, and false for. Now we can do this like we can assign the multiple data types with the multiple variables. Like we have four variables here, one, two, three, four. So same we have four values. And when you put another value, it's 77. So this will throw an error. Okay. See, too many values to unpair. So basically what we need a single variable to store multiple data types. That is why we have this tuples dictionary set frozen set. Okay, in tuples. Let me Okay, when you run this, we have the simple list. This is the list. Now lists are mutable in nature. So they are mutable in nature. Mutable means they can be changed. Okay. Now see, apple, this mangoes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 12.44, 4.5, true, false. These are known as elements of a list. Okay, basically this is a list. This is whole is a list. One list. Inside this, we have many elements. Apple is one element, mangoes are second element, one, two, three are another elements. Okay, so in total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 elements. So the elements, so the values inside a list are known as elements. So apple is one element, mango is another element. Okay, now mutable means we can change the elements of a list. We can add an element, we can remove an element. For example, we have this list. Okay, now we can change the value of apple with another value. Like we can change apple with bananas, we can change apple with cherries. So here we can change the value of the element inside list. Same as we can remove any value, we can remove true false value. We can add another values, we can add few values like more values inside list without touching this list. That is known as the mutable and that is the means of modifying. This is not like you are removing this, so this means we have changed the list. No, changing the list means we are not touching this list, and now we are using the functions and methods of the list to remove items, to add items, and to alter the items. Okay, like to modify the items. That is the meaning of mutable here. Okay, so basically mutable means we are changing the items. Okay, we can update, we can modify the elements of the list, we can remove list, we can remove the elements of the list, we can add the elements. Okay, if you want to create the empty list, so we can also create. So equal, that is list underscore two. Okay, second list. Now, this is the empty list. Okay, so basically this is known as the empty list. Okay, this is how you can create an empty list. Okay, so I hope list is clear. So list is mutable in nature. We can change items, we can modify the list, we can add items, we can remove items after creating the list. That is known as mutable in nature. Okay, then we have tuples. So tuple underscore one. Now we create tuples inside round brackets that are known as parentheses. Okay, so these are tuples that we create inside round brackets. So same as with the tuple, we can store any sort of data type inside tuples. Like same as with the list, we have cherry. These are strings. We can store any number of values. Okay, and then any type of data type again, and then tuples. Okay, even we can store tuples inside tuples like this. We can store list inside tuples. So we can store anything. Now, tuples are immutable in nature. So basically they are immutable in nature. Means change we cannot change the list. Like we cannot now apple, cherry, and these are the elements of a tuple. Now we cannot change the elements, the values of the elements like apple. We cannot change it with another value. Okay, like cherry, we cannot change it with another value. Same as with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we cannot add any value, we cannot remove any value. Okay, after creating the tuples, it is known as immutable in nature. Okay, so tuples are immutable in nature, and we use round brackets for creating the tuples. And apple, cherry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, these values are known as elements of a tuple. Okay, and tuples are immutable in nature. We cannot change the tuples. We cannot modify the tuples. We cannot change the apple element value with another value. We cannot remove any value. We cannot add any value. Okay, so make sure of this. Now, if you check the type again, the print type of tuple underscore one. Same as print the tuple itself. When you run this, so basically we are class tuple and we have this tuple here. Okay. Now, if you want to create the empty tuple, then tuple underscore two. So we cannot create empty tuple like this. Okay. We have to put one value. Okay, like one comma. This is a empty tuple. This is how you can create a empty tuple. I know this is not empty, but you can create like this. Okay, tuple underscore two, and this is an empty tuple. This is how you can create. We cannot remove these values. Okay, like this is not an empty tuple. We have to put one value and then comma to create an empty tuple. Okay, when you run this, okay, this is known as tuples, which are inside round brackets, and then they are immutable in nature. We cannot modify, we cannot add, and we cannot remove the values. Then we have dictionaries. Okay, so dictionaries, they are inside curly braces. Okay, simple. Now dictionaries are also known as the key value pairs. Okay, why key value pairs? Because here you can see we have dictionaries. Okay, so these are curly braces. Okay, curly braces. Now dictionaries are also known as key value pairs. So key value pairs. Because the format of dictionary is like, suppose we have name, colon, John, comma, age, colon, 18. So here, this name is a key and value of this key is John. Okay. This is a comma. Okay. And then we have another key, age, colon, and then the value of age. Okay. So this is known as the key value pair. So we have one key value pair and then we have second key value pair. Okay. So here we separate key and value by colon, and we separate one key value pair with another key value pair with this comma. Okay, so make sure this is the key and this is the value and this is colon. This is known as one key value pair. And if you want to separate the one key value pair with another key value pair, we have to put comma here. This is second key value pair. Okay, inside this we have age. Age is a key and then 18 is a value. Okay, this is how you can write dictionaries inside Python. Again, we can put name, which is a string, and John is also a string. So here we can also store any type of value. Age is a string and 18 is a number. Okay, we can write branch. Okay, put comma here. Otherwise, this will throw error. Sorry. And then let's say CS. Okay, if you run this, print type of value dictionary underscore one. Okay, that is dictionary. And then print that is dictionary underscore one. This will print as it is. Okay. So name is a key, John is a value here. Age is a key, 18 is a value. Branch is a key, CS is a value. This is one key value pair, second key value pair, and third key value pair. Okay, again in this dictionary, we can store anything, like we can store strings, we can store integers and float, complex number, we can store Boolean values, we can store the list. Okay, we can store tuples inside dictionaries. For example, like comma, we can store, let's say, fruits. Or we can store list underscore one. Okay, put colon here, quotation, colon, and then list. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, any list, like you can add anything. Okay, and when you run this again, we have this name, first key value pair, second key value pair, third key value pair, then fourth key value pair. In this key value pair, we have a key as a list underscore name, and then we have a value as a list. Okay. You can store tuples also, you can store dictionary inside dictionaries also. That is known as nested dictionary. Okay. This is how you can create dictionary. Now dictionaries are mutable in nature. Okay. They are mutable in nature. Means we can modify the dictionaries, we can add dictionaries value, we can remove any key value pair, we can add key value pair, we can modify the keys of the values, like values of the keys. Okay. That is known as mutable in nature. Now, last we have set and frozen set. So we use set underscore one, okay, equal, we created set in the square, in the curly braces, same as dictionaries, but we create set as list. Like for example, apple, 1, 2, 3, 4, cherry, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, any sort of values. Okay. And then 2 or 4. Or we can store list inside the set, or we can store tuples. Okay, for this, we keep it simple. So if you check print type of set underscore one, print the set underscore one. See, set, so it is a set, or this is a set itself. Okay. So here, see, you can see false, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, apple, 5.6, or cherry. So and the order is apple, cherry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here in the set order doesn't matter at all. Okay, so set are unordered in nature. Okay, so the order will keep on changing every time you run the program. See, now the order is different. When you run this again, okay, this will now change first 1, 2, 3, then cherry, and then apple is in reverse. Previously, we have this order, and previously we have this order. So order doesn't matter in the set. Then we have they are immutable in nature. Basically, set are immutable and mutable both. Both. Okay. Then their duplicates values are not allowed. Okay, you can see we have two values, 5.6 and 5.6. And in the set, we have only one 5.6 when we are printing. So that is why duplicates values are not allowed. 5.6 and 5.6. Here we have only one 5.6. That is, we have only one value. So that is duplicate. Duplicates values are not allowed. Now set are immutable and immutable both. Because, see, why set are immutable and mutable? Basically, apple, cherry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these are the elements of a set. Okay. Now, we cannot change the values of apple. Like, if you want to change apple with banana, you want to change 1 with 100, you cannot change. So, we can say that the elements of the set are immutable in nature. Okay, so the elements of the set are immutable in nature. Okay, that is why it is immutable. But why it is immutable? Because we can add or we can remove items. Okay, like we can add or we can remove elements inside set. So we can say that that set itself is mutable in nature, but the elements of the set are immutable. Okay, like we cannot update or we cannot change the values of the elements inside set. We cannot change apple with another value. We cannot change one with another value. That is like that. That is why set are immutable in nature. But we can add value and we can remove any value. Like we can remove false, we can remove true, or we can add as many value as we want. That is why they are mutable in nature. Okay. But in case of the tuples, tuples are pure immutable in nature. We cannot update, we cannot add, and we cannot remove. But in the set, we can add, we can remove, but we cannot update the values. That is why we can say that set is both mutable and immutable in nature. So this is the dynamic nature of the set. Okay. So now to create the set fully immutable, we use frozen set. Okay, now you can see that we have set. Set are both immutable and mutable both. Okay, so to create or to make set fully immutable in nature, we use frozen set. Okay, so frozen set is a keyword here, not a data type basically. Basically, it's a data type, but we cannot use frozen set has no format. For example, set underscore one. Okay, we can copy this set here. Okay, so set. Now we can change. So if you want to, so set is a immutable and mutable both. So what we can do here, we can create frozen. We can froze. Okay, frozen set and the name of the set underscore. Okay, now we can check the type of frozen set, froze, and then print the froze itself. Okay, so like this. So class frozen set and then frozen set. Now frozen set are pure immutable in nature, like tuples. Okay, we cannot add, we cannot remove, and we cannot update. Okay, so basically this is a set and we have converted the set into frozen set. This is the format of the frozen set. Okay, we have to call the frozen set constructor here. Okay, then we want to change and we have to name the set which we want to change. Even you can change any data type from one data type to another. That is known as type casting. Okay, like changing the data type from one form to another. Or we can say that okay, so basically changing one data type to another data type is known as typecasting. Okay, that we will discuss tomorrow. Okay, so I hope this much is clear. All the data types, immutable and immutable. Okay, like strings, numbers, integer, float, complex, boolean values, true and false, and then list, tuples, dictionary, set, frozen set. Okay, list are inside square brackets, tuples are inside round brackets, that is known as parentheses, and dictionary are inside curly braces, that are also known as key value pairs, and set inside curly braces, that are mutable and immutable both, and frozen set, it is just a constructor here. Okay, that are inside. Okay, basically this is just a keyword here. Okay, we don't have any format for the frozen set. It is used for creating the set fully immutable in nature. Okay, now we have typecasting, so we will discuss tomorrow. So tomorrow we will see the typecasting as well as some more Okay, some more exercise.